Hi guys, welcome back to Loggery. I hope all of you are doing fine, all of you are safe. Today we are going to discuss about how to prepare for Maharashtra CET, that is Maharashtra Common Entrance Test 5-year Law Entrance Exam 2022 in 4 to 5 months from zero. So this was again a very highly requested videos in all the lives that I usually do, that we want to know about Maharashtra CET 5-year Law Exam 2022. Please do a fresh video. So I have analyzed the 2021 papers and therefore I have come up with this video. In this video I'm going to give you the entire syllabus, so please make notes, because these notes are going to help you. So I'm going to tell you the topics that you have to cover for each section, so this is going to be really helpful. Next we are going to also discuss about the important topics and the very important thing that you all wanted, the signature day-to-day schedule. That you wanted a day-to-day schedule wherein I tell you what you should study, and the most important thing, if you want to create your own schedule also, the sequence, the order in which you should study the topics, from where to start, all of that I've answered. Now I know a lot of you are studying by yourself and a lot of you have joined coaching. Both are good, but if you have joined coaching, you also have to study yourself. Don't forget about that, because if you don't go for self-study, it is difficult to clear the exam. So even if you have joined coaching or you're doing self-study, this video is going to help you out a lot. So don't miss out on this video. Watch the entire video, make notes. Let's get started with today's video. And yeah guys, welcome to Loggery. I hope you're subscribed to Loggery's YouTube channel and hit that bell notification so that you do not miss any of our videos. And I hope you're following us on Instagram. We're there by the name @IamLoggery. We do pretty motivational stuff out there. If you want to stay happy, if you want to stay motivated, and if you want to stay connected a little more with Loggery, then do follow us on Instagram. About the exam, it is very important to know about the exam. So let's see. So the exam takes place in online mode, that is you go to a center, give the exam, and there are multiple sessions, right? So there's no one session. For example, CLAT happens in one session only. This date from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, that's out of there. But here, the exam takes place on different dates and all that, right? Now, my objective multiple choice questions are going to be there with options, that is MCQ type of questions. A lot of you get confused that if all the exams are like CLAT, like passage based, no, you'll get normal questions with options, no passages. Like passage instance, you might get a reading comprehension, that's a different part, but not every question would be asked from a passage. I hope you get it when you compare it to CLAT. There is no negative marking, which is a great thing, right? The time allotted is 2 hours, which is again great, and the question will be asked in English as well as Marathi. Let's know about marks distribution. Legal aptitude and legal reasoning 40 marks, general knowledge and current affairs 30 marks, logical and analytical reasoning 40 marks, English 30 marks, mathematical aptitude 10, total comes to 150. Legal aptitude, now legal aptitude would be of approx, you're going to get 40 questions, 40 marks. So the topics are torts, contracts, criminal law, Indian Constitution. Now Indian Constitution, for Indian Constitution, I also have my own course. You can enroll for that. You can buy the course. The link is going to be in the description box. You can check that out. Okay, so legal aptitude. Now it is a very easy part. So I'm going to give you different options. Please focus, because you have to understand certain things here. So these are the topics that you got to cover, and the books from wherein you can cover these topics are, you can buy Universals. So Universals ka book aata hai, Universals Guide to CLAT and LLB Entrance Examinations. You can buy that. Link of the book is going to be in the description box. Or you can also buy AP Bharadwaj, or you can also buy Willy, right? Or you can also buy Willy. Now if you want to study the thing in detail, or you want extra details, then go for this book. If you want in short, then you can go for this book, right? Any of one. Or if you already have AP Bharadwaj, you can study from that book also, right? So these are the books. Any one would be sufficient, right? I'm going to write here any one. Okay, now let's understand another thing. Now you need to remember one thing, that you have two type of questions in your legal aptitude section. One is legal GK, and the other one is principle and fact type of questions. Principle and fact. Now legal GK is, you will be reading Indian Constitution, and from there and they might ask that, okay, tell us about what is preamble, what what are the the particular words used in preamble, when was preamble amended, in which judgment preamble was said to be part of the Indian Constitution, in which it was said it is not part of the Indian Constitution. Questions like these, like normal questions, we can call them normal MCQ questions, and normal, and moreover they are more or less memory based, right? You've learned something and you have to answer, right? Normal questions, legal GK, and the topics remain the same. These are the topics, right? And one more topic that you can cover for safe tide is legal terms and maxims. Now this topic you can cover from our website www.loggery.com. the PDF is there. You can cover from that, right? Cool. Now, moving on to your principle and fact type of questions. Here you will be given a law. For example, they'll define theft. Ki theft hota kya hai? Now, this is theft. Okay, they'll define theft. They'll give you a situation, and then they're going to give you options. Right now, what lawyers do? The client goes, tells the situation, then the lawyer tells the laws and give the options. So very fun kind of questions, but easy. But you need to learn how to solve. Right now, I've done a video called legal reasoning. If you search legal reasoning loggery, you will find that video. That video has around 50,000 views. It's going to be really helpful. You'll get to know the basics of legal reasoning, how to solve these questions. Again, the topic for these are also the same, right? You have to study the basic law, that is torts, contracts, criminal law, Indian Constitution. For your legal GK type of questions, you got to learn, and for these type of questions you got to understand. ठीक है ना? Fact और principle के लिए understand करना पड़ेगा, and you have to practice questions. Now for legal GK, once you are done with the theory, right? Once you are done with the theory, please solve questions. For legal GK, you have to solve MCQs, right? And for your principle and fact type of questions, you also have to practice questions, right? Now, from where to practice questions? For solving MCQs, there is this topic called legal awareness. There's this topic called legal awareness in universals. So I would say that if you're preparing for MAH CET, you should buy universals, because you'll get good amount of questions to practice from, right? Legal awareness, these are MCQs. Like, you will find 1500 plus MCQs, which is a good amount of questions to practice. I would say you should practice for sure, because you might get same questions. There are high chances. And similarly for your reasoning questions also, you can solve from universals. For theory, you might go for AP Bharadwaj or Willy, but solving questions you should solve from universals only. Right, talk about general knowledge. Now, around 30 marks. Your general knowledge consists of current affairs plus static GK, right? Plus static GK. Now, let's see how to cover your static GK part first. So for your static GK, you have to cover your history, geography, general science, economics, civics, important days. Civics is your Indian Constitution only, that we are covering in legal aptitude itself. Right now, I need to tell you one thing. When it comes to static GK, one of the major questions is, ki ma'am, should we read Lucent's entire book? So Lucent's is a book for static GK. It's a huge book, and one of the problems that students face is that they don't get to know what is important, right? What to memorize, what to learn. And therefore, if they don't know what to learn, then how would they remember? Because come on, you cannot remember the entire book. ठीक है ना? पूरी book आप नहीं remember कर पाओगे. That is something really impossible, because static GK is not the only section that you have to prepare for. There are other sections also, right? So one thing that I want to tell you is, I would not advise that you should study from Lucent's. Even if you want to go for a bigger book, I would say buy Pearson's Concise GK, because it's a little smaller than what is Lucent's. Even this is the last option that I would give you in case you are interested in reading a full-fledged book for static GK. I would say go for Universal's book. From the Universal's book, solve the MCQs. This book would have MCQs. Solve the MCQs for these topics. All of these topics that I have mentioned, the ones that I've underlined are important, cover them first and the other ones afterwards. And when you solve the MCQs, I know it is difficult to learn. It is difficult to learn because you don't know anything about the question and you're just mugging up, aprata maro. So what I would say is that when you are reading these MCQs, try to find out information, Google about them, about the questions, note down the relevant information with the questions itself, and therefore you will be able to learn the questions. This is one of the best ways to cover static GK, because A, you will be covering the important questions, and B, I'm telling you, these are the same questions that might be there in the exam, very high chances. So I think this is something like, even if you're going for Pearson's, no, so doing this is the most important, right? ये ज़रूर करना है. This is your choice. This is something that I won't recommend. Talking about the current affairs part, now from where to cover your current affairs. Number one question is duration. From which month and all. So I would say, to be on the safe side, cover from Jan 2021 till May, June 2022. That is what I would suggest. But if you're saying that much I cannot cover, then you can start from June 2021 till May. Right? Your call. You want to be sure shot, Jan 2021. You want to take the risk, June 2021. Now, how to cover the backlog? Now, I want to tell you, to cover the backlog, firstly, I want to tell you one mistake to avoid. One mistake that I don't want you to make. Don't start reading the newspaper of the duration. Say from Jan 2021 and till Feb, or we are in January right now, 2022, you have not read the newspaper. Please don't go back and start reading the newspaper from January 2021 till 2022. A, you won't be able to remember. Then what is the use? B, from where would you revise? Because to remember, you got to revise. And if you're not able to remember, what's the use of it? Because what is our aim? That we should be able to solve the questions in the exam. They have not told us that anyone who reads the newspaper from January 2021 till June 2022 will get a seat in Maharashtra CT. Is there any notification like that? No. It says you have to solve the questions. The ones who are able to will get the admission, right? So we got to be smart here. And what we need to do is that we need to cover the backlog, the part of which the part of the news that we have not read from the newspaper, from a magazine called Titspit's Annual Edition. You will find this magazine on Amazon. Please go and buy the hard copy, because then this hard copy would act as your notes and everything, because here only you will mark, underline and everything. Because to learn current affairs and static GK, to memorize this, you need to revise again and again. Otherwise, don't expect from yourself that in the exam you will be able to remember. Right, so this is for your January 2021 till December 2021. That's what is your annual edition. Talking about January 2022 till your June 2022, I would say that you can follow the newspaper. You can read the Hindu, one option. If you say I can't read the Hindu, your call. Then you have to follow a magazine. I would say follow Prajogita Darpan or News and Events, or maybe Titspits only, or IS Vision. Anyone would be great. Anyone. Please don't go crazy reading 4 magazines, 2 magazines. You will go bonkers. Read one magazine 5 times rather than reading 5 magazines one time. Remember this. Okay, especially for current affairs and for other sections also. For practice, you might pick up some other book, but for your main book, there should be just one book from wherein you cover your theory, right? Otherwise, you will go crazy. Remember that. Talking about English. Now, English, this section consists of your grammar, reading comprehension. So let's read what they have said. They'll be asking us vocabulary, synonyms, antonyms, analogies, idioms and phrases, one word substitution, sentence improvement, rearrangement, fill in the blanks, English usage errors, common errors, spotting errors, inappropriate usage of words, spelling mistakes. Now, some of the topics that you need to cover are obviously reading comprehension. For grammar, I would say you got to cover your subject verb agreement, which is a very, very important topic. Then your tenses are really important. Prepositions, you need to remember the rules, because on the basis of your grammar, they are going to ask us this. Common errors, spotting errors are going to be your grammar, right? Inappropriate usage of words also. And the book that from wherein you can cover all the other topics is S.P. Bakshi, Objective English by S.P. Bakshi. It is a book by Arihant is the publisher. You can go for this book, or you can go for R.S. Agarwal, right? Any book that you want to order. Choose between these two books. Now, one thing that I want to tell you is a lot of people are going to say buy Wren and Martin. Now, Wren and Martin is a very confusing book if you have not studied it back in the school or somewhere is not teaching you. You will go crazy again. So don't go for that book at this point of time. And for vocabulary also, there's certain people who are going to tell, oh, you know what, I think you should read the Word Power Made Easy book. Again, I won't recommend it because you need to remember this time. You need to remember this thing that you need to be smart enough to cover the entire or maximum syllabus, and you cannot say that okay, I'll be reading just one book for this one section or one part of the section. You need to be smart enough that you pick a book from wherein you can cover the topic in less time completely. That's smart you got to be, because we don't have the luxury of 1 year or even 8 9 months, right? So you can cover from this book, and all these lists like idioms, spellings, your synonym antonyms. Start learning 15 synonyms a day, 15 antonyms a day, like 15 15 10 10. If you start like this, you'll be able to cover a lot of them, right? Another thing, if you're opting to read the newspaper, then I would say that if whenever you come across a word of which you don't know the meaning of, please try to find the meaning, because normally these common vocabulary words are found in newspaper, right? Logical reasoning. Now you can divide the logical reasoning part into two. One is your puzzle type of questions, as I love to call them, like for easy understanding, and critical reasoning is your assumptions, argument, all these types of questions, right? So your coding, decoding, blood relations, puzzle test, direction sense test, series, analogy. The best part about these questions is that once you learn how to solve them, if they're there in the exam, you can very easily, solve them, right? If they are in your comfort zone, like they become a comfort level when we solve all type of questions: easy, difficult, medium, moderate, like all. So this is a very, a good thing. They can be a short type of questions. So yeah, we're going to give them a lot of importance in the schedule also that I'm about to discuss towards the end of this video. So from where to study this, I would say buy this book called Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by R.S. Agarwal. A very good book. Link is going to be in the description box. You can check that out. And now, I know we have less time, and this book is a huge book. Firstly, the chapters that I have mentioned here, you got to solve these only from this book. Number two, when you're solving the questions, you will find that, oh, this is the same type of question, I can miss out on these questions, and you can move on to the next. What you can do, the questions that you're solving, you can put a tick on them and leave the rest of the questions which you're not solving. You can solve them when you come back and revise the chapter and all that stuff, right? So that is something that you can do so that you are able to cover the topics quickly, right? Now coming over to your critical reasoning, this you need to cover from a book called M.K. Pandey, right? And one more thing, this M.K. Pandey book has this topic, this chapter, not a topic, chapter called solving problems. Now this solving problems has all the theory related to these chapters, right? So you can read the theory, the tricks and everything really good. This will speed up the process. So on the day one, say on blood, I'm going to cover blood relations today. I'm going to pick up my M.K. Pandey, go through the blood relations part that is given in my M.K. Pandey, mark and note down whatever I want to in the book itself, and thereby I come back to R.S. Agarwal, solve the questions, and voila, I'm done. That's how you need to do, right? I hope you get it. Another tip that I want to give you guys is, when you solve logical reasoning, you will get to know about a lot of tricks yourself. Note it down somewhere so that when you are going to give the exam a day before, even an hour before the exam, you just go through the tips and tricks. And also, please mark the questions that you have attempted wrong. Mark the questions that you found difficult, so that while you're revising, you are going to get good time. If you follow the schedule, you're going to get good time to revise the topic, so that when you revise, you can solve these questions that went wrong or that you found difficult afterwards also. And that would be a great way to revise your topics, right? Maths, these are some of the important topics that you need to solve. I would say that you can go for 18 days wonder or 30 days wonder, whichever book is available, and you can solve these topics. If you are going for 18 days wonder, solve the entire book. Even for 30 days wonder, don't solve topics like trigno. Then you have a lot of topics, geometry. If you're confused, you can send me the index and I'll tell you, okay, these are the topics that you got to solve, right? Because 18 days wonder is not available, 30 days wonder is available. It has some extra topics like geometry and all that. We don't need to go into that detail. Yeah, create a formula list, revise your formulas every day so that you remember them. And yeah, this is the book that you need to go for. From where to begin? Now, this is a very, very common question. I would say begin from reading comprehension, because हमारे 5 to 6 marks, we पक्के हो जाते हैं एक तरह से. Short 5 to 6 marks we are able to score. Logical reasoning, again I told you the reason. Then comes your legal aptitude, very easy. And then you can go for your maths and English, right? We also have our English. I've not included English anywhere, so I would say you should do your English here after like legal aptitude. English should be somewhere here. Okay, I forgot to discuss this towards the beginning of this video. One of the questions that a lot of you might have is, can we clear this exam if we start now? Yes, you can. I have students. I try to find their messages, and also you can for sure check out the messages on my Instagram. I've posted it. People followed my 30 days, schedule for MAH CET, 45 days, and all these schedules, and they were able to clear the exam. You still have so many months in your hands. You can clear the exam. If someone could clear the exam and get GLC ILS in 30 days, you have 6 months. You have the perfect time. I always tell my students that you have time, like the exact amount of time that you need. You have that pressure, that fear that needs to be converted. You have that fear that needs to be converted into motivation, and voila, you will be able to clear this exam. And for that reason, I have this day-to-day schedule for you. I want that you should give 3 hours every day to your MAH CET preparation, come what may. If you can give more than that, great, then you will be completing the syllabus much more quickly, right? But minimum 3 hours, this is what I want. And in this minimum 3 hours, 1 hour to your current affairs magazine, 1 hour to your current affairs magazine, and 1 hour to one topic from another subject, and 1 hour to another topic. I'll be telling you that, right? And if you can give 6 hours, 7 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, please go for it. Complete the syllabus. Yes, you can clear the exam even if you start from zero, from scratch now. It is doable. Please, 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 right? Try to complete the syllabus. Try to do maximum you can, and you can get into GLC Bombay and ILS Pune. Usse niche to dream hi nahi karna. We should dream big. From 1st Feb to 5th Feb, you will be doing Indian Constitution, coding, decoding, Indian Constitution, blood relations. The entire schedule is there. Comes your Feb, March. Then you have, start learning 15 idioms, antonyms, spelling mistakes every day. From 26th March to 5th April, you will be doing whatever is left in English by giving 2 hours every day here. And then rest of April, you will be, after 6th April, 5th April, you will be doing your maths, and you will be starting your revision and everything else. For analogy, I want to tell you one thing. This chapter is a huge chapter, so you need to understand the concept, and have shared some notes that I have created on my website www.loggery.com. Go visit that, www.loggery.com. Go into your study material English, you will find the notes. Okay, understand the concept, because you cannot solve the entire analogy that's given in your RS Agarwal. Okay, how to study for this exam? We are going to divide our preparation into 2 stages. Stage 1, step 1 is, right? Please make notes of this also, because you need to remember. Step 1 is understanding. Step 1 is understanding. And for understanding, what we are going to do? For understanding, we're going to be reading theory. We're going to be reading theory. What we are going to do? Reading theory, right? For understanding, we're going to be reading theory, right? While we are reading theory, our step 2 would be making notes. Now you'll say, I need to make notes in a separate register or what? No, you got to make the notes in the book itself. By notes, I mean you got to underline, you got to mark, and all that. And if you have read a paragraph and you think that there's some short points that you can call out, because that would make your next step easier and even your second stage easier, that is revision, then you should do that, right? Now your step 3 is practice. Step 3 is practice, and you'll practice by solving MCQs. By solving MCQs. Why solving MCQs is important? Number one, you'll get to know, do you know how to apply theory? How to apply theory. Number two, are you able to learn the correct things? Are you able to retain what you have learned? And there are high chances that you get same questions and avoid mistakes in the exam. When you attempt questions, you're going to make all the mistakes while you practice, and in the exams, no mistake means more marks, right? So we're going to attempt MCQs. You cannot say that your topic is done just by reading theory. You need to make notes. You need to attempt MCQs. Very important. This is a very, very important step that most of you miss. Right, revising on weekends. You're going to revise on weekends from these notes. These notes are going to help you. These notes, right? So you're going to revise what you have studied during the weekdays. You're going to revise everything at the weekend, right? Coming over to stage 2. Now, stage 1, we have completed the syllabus. We have completed the syllabus, and then we move to stage 2. That consists of, we'll name this as revision plus mock tests. Revision plus mock tests. Now revision, you're going to create a separate plan. When you're everything is done, you're going to create a separate plan of revising. How to revise? You're going to read your notes that you have created in the books, that is reading theory, and you're going to practice. You're going to practice maybe attempting the same questions only, or you can check out my website www.loggery.com, wherein I've shared tests also, right? So that is what you're going to do, and you're going to attempt mocks also. You can attempt 2 to 3 mocks a week once your syllabus is complete. It is very, very important that you analyze these mocks, right? Analyze these mocks. Which topics are going wrong? Work on those topics. Start from zero. Stage 1 for those topics. You're going to read, make notes again, and you're going to solve the questions. Which topics are weak? Convert them into strong topics. That is what you're going to do. Time management, handling no negative marking. When there's no negative marking, you got to handle that. I've done a video for MAH CET 5 especially for you guys. You got to check it, right? So all of this you get to do when you solve your mock test. And revision is also very important, because then only you will be able to retain things. Okay, I hope you have noted down everything. So guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, that means the world to me. Is really, really important that you subscribe to the channel. If you're finding my videos helpful, comment down below how I can help you. What are the problems that you're facing when it comes to MAH CET or any other law entrance exam? Also, do not forget to subscribe my other channel, that is Miss Being. I'll leave the link of that channel in the description box below. It's my new channel wherein I'm sharing some motivational videos, life lessons, and my personal vlogs too. You're going to enjoy that for sure, and you can chat with me on my Instagram. I'm there by the name @I'mLoggery, and you can also book a paid session with me if you want to talk to me personally. If you have those problems that you want to talk to me about personally, you can book a session with me wherein I'll call you guys and talk to you. The link is going to be in the description box. Do check out the description box. That's it. Loggery signing off. You guys keep on studying.